Hi everybody, this is Jared with Jared Pressure Wash Service. Today I wanted to talk about why it's important to get pressure washing on your property. And first, I'm going to start with your exterior. Your exterior is your outside walls of your house. For those of you who don't know, you're painted, it could be wood, cement, so on and so forth. It's the outside exterior of your home. And one of the main reasons that you want to get that pressure washed is because over time it's going to build up algae and dirt and funk. These little furries, you'll see them, they're like hairs, spider webbing, wasp nests, black mold, algae, grime. And a lot of times you'll see the tar coming from your roof around that trim that goes around your roof. And it looks pretty gross. So the exterior, along with the dirt and looking bad and looking grimy and not looking so nice, also needs to be cleaned because the algae, it's slightly like a sponge. Over time, it starts to soak in the water. And as it sits on your paint, it starts to deteriorate the paint that's on there. And that's why a lot of times painters will tell you to go ahead and get a pressure washing every year or two. And that's kind of up to you. It also depends on the areas that you live. If you're living on the beach, you're going to have a lot of salt in the air, so the salt will stick, and that can cause some issues. If you're in in a tree area where you have oak trees all around and bushes and stuff up against your walls, that will cause a lot of issues too, and that will cause a lot of algae buildup. So it's always good to get a nice soft wash. We do soft washing on the exteriors just to make sure that the paint itself is protected and it's not chipping up. You don't want to get close with your gun. So we do a lot of either bleach or chlorinating liquid depending on how severe it is. You don't really want to put direct chlorine on it, but you can put bleach directly on your paint. A lot of people don't know that. They think that's going to destroy their paint. You don't want to let it sit there forever. You want to rinse it off afterwards. It's very important. So it's good to get it cleaned, not only because it looks gross, but because over time it can deteriorate your paint, also your wood, all that good stuff. So you want to make sure that you're getting that done every year or two, like I said, depending on the area. Secondly, your driveways, pavers, cement. It doesn't really matter what kind of surface you have there. You could have travertine stones, things of that nature. You want to get that pressure washed every year. There's a lot of foot traffic and all that. You have a lot of sunlight on it, a lot of rain because we live in Florida. That's where we're located, in St. Petersburg. And you also want to get a seal done. Now, a lot of people might not know about a seal, and what a seal does is it protects it from UV rays, it protects it from water soaking in and damaging it over time, because cement, when it gets wet for long enough and the heat and all that, it starts to crack. Especially with your 2-ton vehicle rolling on top of it, it will start to break down over time and you'll start to lose your driveway. Well, what the sealer does is it soaks into the pores of your concrete and it soaks into the pores of your pavers. And if you have pavers, you'll want to use like a polymeric sand. Sand will come right out, usually pretty quickly, but a polymeric sand will stay in there for a long period of time. If it's a good polymeric sand, then you're looking at 10 plus years. Make sure you like it and that it looks pretty, because it's going to be there for a while. So the sealer will protect it from rain damage, algae buildup, dirt soaking into the area, and also UV rays. So you want to do that. The sealer is going to usually last up to 5 years. If you have a good company doing it, they're going to put enough down. It shouldn't be going away after 6 months to a year. Make sure that the person that you're talking to is an honest guy, because sometimes you have a lot of these companies that will come out and they're just fly-by-night kind of companies, and they won't come back, they won't fix it, they won't give it their best shot, and they're not using quality products. So you want to be careful about who you're hiring on for the job, because it is quite expensive. But $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 job, depending on, some of these jobs can, go pretty high, but it just depends on your square footage. Some people have 6,000 square feet of property, and it's a lot of work to put, to do this kind of job right, especially for pavers, because you're going to clean out all the grouts and blah, blah, blah. But it's very important that you do it, because that is a huge investment on your part. I don't usually like to talk about the money a lot, but I mean, when you think about a $30,000 to $60,000 driveway / pool deck, of pavers that got put in, you want to protect that investment, and a nice seal is going to protect it for a lot of years. And you just want to make sure that it's the right kind of company. So moving on from that, now we have docks and decks and wooden fences. We'll get onto vinyl fence next, but wooden fences and what areas you really want to protect them and clean them every 6 months to a year, because they soak in a lot more. You can also use sealers and protectors for that as well, and that way they don't have all the water soaking into them, and it'll last a lot longer. Getting the pressure washing done is good, especially if you have a lot of trees around you, because that will create algae buildup and leaf fall, which we all know can, cause water to clump up in that area and to cause nests for bugs and all that. But for wood, it's just really bad for it to stay soaked or stay wet for too long, and because it will start to break down and it'll start to rot. It becomes dry rotted. So you want to get that pressure washed and get that cleaned up as much as possible, because sitting algae on top of it is the same exact thing. It's just a sponge holding water on top of whatever it is you own. So, it sounds like when you think of pressure washing, you think it's cleaning off, and it is cleaning off, but it's also protecting at the same time. And that goes for the sealing too. A lot of pressure washing companies seal as well. We do. So going on to vinyl fences, you'll want to get those done every year, 2 years, depending. If you can deal with the green all over your fence, go for that. What we do is we put a bleaching on your fence first, and then we pressure wash that off. It brightens it up and it makes it look brand new. We can also do rust removal for all the well water that sprays up on there. We can't stop it forever, but I mean, every couple months or 3 months, if you needed us to come back out, we could also do that. So this is obviously an educational video, but it's a promotional video for my company as well. With all that being said, roofs is the last subject. I don't want to skip over this. This is probably one of the most important. You want to get your roofs blown off every few months if you have oak trees or anything else on top of it, because that, like I said, clumps up. Bugs will start to live in it. They'll put bugs in your house, in your attic area. It could attract termites. There's algae and water that's going to build up in there too. It could cause leaks. It could cause a lot of issues. So you want to get it blown off, and you want to get it pressure washed every year. Even though it seems excessive, I wouldn't risk it. That's just something you don't want to risk. A roof it could be dangerous. It could be expensive. It's just good to protect and take care of that. That's pretty much it. Altogether, pressure washing is very important to do. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you need a great pressure washing company in your area with somebody that you can trust, I'm a St. Petersburg local. My name is Jared, and I am the owner of JR Pressure Wash Service. You can call me at 727-743-2241. Again, that is 727-743-2241. And I hope to be hearing from you. Thanks.